Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
It was only last year that Dylan Alcott was awarded Australian of the Year, and now he's had to change, amongst other things, the advertising industry. The tennis star and disability advocate knows all too well how much representation matters. So his foundation has launched the Shift 20 initiative. To tell us more, Dylan Alcott, hello.
There he is.
G'day, legends. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's always a treat to talk to you. So what's this all about, mate?
Yeah, look, growing up, I've been in a wheelchair my whole life, and one thing I really struggled with, whenever I turned on the TV, I never saw anybody like me. I saw people like you, and whenever I did see someone like me, it was a road safety ad where someone speeds, has a car accident. The next scene is someone like me with this real negative connotation that your life's over, that you're broken, and it was really hard growing up. I really struggled with it, and 20% of the Australian population, 1 in 5 people, nearly 4.5 million people, have some form of disability in this country, visible or invisible. Less than 1% are seen on our screens. So we want to do something to change that. So, we teamed up with 13 of the biggest brands in the country, Macca's, ANZ, AME Bonds, just to name a few, and they've changed their talent, who are normally able-bodied, to people with disabilities. Us just doing normal things because we're normal people who want to see ourselves represented like everybody else, which is pretty cool.
And why have you targeted not targeted, why are you working with the advertising industry and not maybe the filmmakers, the TV makers, so that the shows as well have better representation?
Hey, it's a good call. Hopefully we can get to that point. I think the fact that, people will probably take for granted how often they see themselves in mainstream media, whether you're watching sport or a show or whatever it is. And we just want to be seen as normal people doing normal things because we eat food, we use rideshare, we bank, we get insurance, we wear underwear, we brush our teeth. We do absolutely everything, yet we don't see ourselves represented. And it's about educating the industry that we are consumers too. You know what I mean? It's not just socially a good thing to do. It's also good business because we want to have choice and control over our lives, but you can't be what you cannot see, can you? And
exactly.
If you want to speak about somebody at a table, they need a seat at that table. And we're really proud that, people with visible and invisible disabilities are not just in our commercials, they also made the commercials too behind the camera. And we just really want to show what we're capable of. And whenever you saw someone with disability in mainstream, it's either that item of pity, so people feel better, or that item of inspiration, from the hospital bed to the podium in the Paralympics or whatever. But we're also just normal people doing normal, ordinary things, and that's how we want to be viewed. And, the fact that an industry that hasn't always, accepted and included us have committed to shift the needle gradually to get to 20% representation over the next 5 years is pretty special.
You put your underpants on like the rest of us. Well, not all of us, Dylan. Some people.
Some people go commando, is what Jonesy's saying.
Some people.
Depends how I'm feeling. I'm with you.
Oh, really?
I could join them and come. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you never know what happens.
Yeah.
And how did the advertising industry respond when you went to them? Did these big brands said, actually, you're right? Was it a light bulb moment for them?
It was, man. I couldn't believe it, to be honest. We just kind of went to them and asked them to be involved. And a lot of these brands are already doing stuff in the space with disability and inclusion, but they just said, we want to do better. We want to do better. And that was awesome to hear. And it's not about a flash in the pan moment this week where all the ads are on TV. They've all committed just to do better over the next little while to get greater representation in all their marketing communications. And what we heard was, people always go, why aren't they already doing this? One, I don't think people realise we exist. 1 in 5 people have disability. Not many people know that, right? It's about educating community about that. But also, people just don't want to get it wrong. They don't want to stuff it up. So as a result, they don't engage. But the best way to not get it wrong is just to listen to our lived experience and work with us to co-design it. Don't do it for us, do it with us so we can all do it together. And the fact that the industry said, you know what, and it wasn't just the brands, it's about creatives, it's about networks, it's about, TV, it's about radio, it's about everybody coming together and saying, we're going to commit to donating our time and listening and learning and doing better. And that's all we can ask for. And the end goal is to be redundant, to be honest, to not have to come on the radio and talk about it. And we don't own disability inclusion in ads. We want everybody to copy us because it's not just the right thing to do, it's smart business as well. And hopefully we can normalise it to a point where we see so much disability represented, it becomes normal, and I'm really lucky that so many people have supported me, but other people with disability deserve the same chances that I've got.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be in the Coca-Cola commercial. What was the one that you saw, Dylan? You thought, I want to be in that.
You know what? I cried when this happened last week because I would have loved to have been the Weet-Bix kid. And the Weet-Bix kid now is a young girl called Eva who's in a wheelchair. And she's
I've
part
seen
of
that.
our
It's
campaign.
great.
And I couldn't believe it, to be honest. And seeing her face, what it meant to her, and she's now signed for 12 months to do more stuff. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, it just shows other kids that us as people with disability, we're not lesser than, we're just equal. We're just equal to you. That's all we want to be seen as equals. And it's pretty powerful stuff. And all the messages that we've got from the Australian public, from people with disability, from industry, have just been incredible. People wanting to listen and learn and do better. And I'm bloody grateful for it, to be honest.
Well, you're doing it, mate. Good on you, Dylan. Our dream is to be in a Metamucil commercial, and that's something that's still...
I think our show does that for
that's
people.
still out there. Dylan Alcott. It's always
We
great.
can make it happen.
Well, I want to make you know people, mate. Maybe you could, give us put a good word in for us to get involved
Now that I'm a fellow advertising exec, I'll see what I can do for you. All right?
You've just got to work on your ponytail. To get involved in the Shift 20 initiative, head to dylanalcottfoundation.com.au. Dylan, always a treat, mate.
Love you both. You've always been big supporters of me and everything I've done, so I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dylan.
Anything at all.